Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to RPSG Investor Day 2024 post-lunch session. I hope you all are inside. I once again request everybody who's talking and discussing, kindly settle down as we are starting with our next session. All right, so we have company presentation from SAREGAMA India Limited. As you all know, SAREGAMA India is India's leading entertainment company with a library of 160,000 songs in more than a dozen languages, over 70 plus films, 45 plus digital series, and 6,000 plus hours of TV content. Now it's time for me to invite from the management team, Mr. Vikram Mehra, Managing Director, SAREGAMA India Limited on stage, and along with him we have Mr. Pankaj Chaturvedi, CFO, SAREGAMA India Limited for the presentation. Everybody, can we welcome them with a round of applause? Yes, we need some extra energy post-lunch for the obvious reasons. Yeah, so yes, here we go. Over to you, sir.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Let me just get to the right slide here. Okay. This after lunch session is always a little dangerous session. I think intentionally they have put entertainment company after that. Maybe you guys will not sleep. Let's see if I'm successful or not. A quick history of the company. This company used to be the first international operations of EMI. EMI was at that time the biggest music company globally. They started the Indian operation. They used to operate under the name Gramophone Company of India. The first song ever recorded in the history of India was done in 1902, and we still own the recording of that particular song by a lady called Gauhar Jan. And over the years, we have moved from being only a music company to becoming a full-fledged entertainment company, which means not just music but audio and video, from being only a B2B company to also becoming a B2C company. If we start looking at the financials, and I'm not going to spend this session today right now to convince you on the financials, separate days, separate time. Today I'm going to spend time to tell you how do we do what we do. But still, it will be wrong on my part unless I go back and do a little bit of tom-tomming about the fact that we have done reasonably well over the last 7 years. Our revenues have gone out there in a substantial fashion. Profits have grown at a rate which is faster than the rate of revenue growth. The initial years of this performance came simply by driving efficiencies in the system. We were not there on every digital platform in the world. We did not have enough metadata sitting behind us. All that went right now in the first 4 to 5 years. And last couple of years, you are seeing a big benefit of the newer content investments that we people are making and the newer areas we are getting ourselves into. Let me repeat what I said in the morning, and it's pretty important here. Why do we exist? What excites us to be there in this market and keep on making newer investments? This close to 2 billion population of people who enjoy Indian languages-based entertainment. They are based in India, and then they're based in adjoining countries like Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, to some extent Afghanistan, and then other countries where large Indian diaspora is sitting in, whether US, Canada, UK, Australia, Malaysia, Middle East. There's a large enough chunk which is sitting in there. These 2 billion people excite us a lot. There's a large market that's sitting in for Indian content. In India alone, 750 million of these guys, or some people say 800 million of these guys, have a smartphone in their hand. A smartphone means you have a television set literally sitting out there with you. Anytime you have got even a minute free, that's something that comes out. I often do this, that in a big room, try that out yourself. In a big room, there are people sitting in. Take a pause for 5 minutes. 95% of the people are going to take their phones out and check something on the phone. Most of the time, nobody has WhatsApped them over the last 1 hour. But it's a human nature now that we don't know what to do with ourselves if we have got 5 minutes free. And phone is that ultimate fiddler. And if nothing else, we'll go to Instagram and watch something. That means that much more content consumption is going on. And the other fact, that unlike the older days where one piece of content used to be enough to satisfy the need of the entire family, Balaji did this great job right now, days of Kahani Ghar Ghar Ki, Kyunki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi. One serial used to manage everybody sitting in front of the television. Today, husband and wife very often are sitting in the same room on two different pieces of devices, watching two different pieces of content. And as I often joke, they're not heading for a divorce. It's a normal Indian household. This is what used to happen in the Western world. We used to laugh at them. We are no different. We all are moving in that direction, which means, once more, that much more content consumption opportunities. The call we had to take as a company was, if we know this consumption going on and it will increase, do we want to be the platform that controls customer, or do we want to be the content that drives the platform? And we were clear we want to be one of the two. And a conscious call that has been taken by SAREGAMA as a company is, we will always be the content that runs the platforms, which takes the content to the customer. We don't want to get into platform business. There's no right or wrong, but we specialize in being a content company, and we also like the fact that content is independent of technology changes happening. Music or movies that used to be popular earlier, they're even popular now. Though technologies have changed, LP gave way to cassettes, gave way to CDs, gave way to DVDs, which got into browser-based downloads, which finally has become live streaming. Things keep on changing. Content doesn't change. And we are very, very clear, we will always remain as an audio-video content company only. So what do? We are sitting on this massive library of content, both on the music as well as video side. We want to monetize that content to the fullest. Ensure right now that if there is any place where we can plug in our content and make money from that content, we better do it in the most effective fashion. And the money that we are making is not just directly from the content which is consumed, but we are now also making money from the artists who are appearing in that content. Why should we not make money from them? They're appearing in our music videos, they're appearing in our films, they're appearing in a short format content. We are making them big. If we are making them big, we sign them up in contracts and tell them that if you become big, whatever earning you do by appearing in a Shadi ka function or in some live concert, we'll get a percentage out of that. So we are finding various ways to monetize our IP. While doing it is where the second big decision of our company is. First is, we will not be a platform. Second is, we are not happy making money for this quarter or this financial year. We want to prepare this company for tomorrow. There will come a time that we will not be able to make money from the songs that we maybe own today. These artists, these may no longer be relevant in 2050 or 2070. We need to invest in the artists of today so that younger people who grow up listening to those songs end up keeping this company relevant even in 2050 and 2070. That's why there's massive focus on new content investment. If we stop, I was telling somebody this, if we stop any new content investment in SAREGAMA, we say whatever we have, we'll just make money. This company will grow at 10 to 12% per annum and will write a margin of 78%. That's how profitable this business can be. We have taken a conscious call, that's not how we want to be. We want to invest in various other avenues of entertainment so that when subscription takes off and when this new crop of people who are putting in their music right now, they make my catalog that much more relevant. There's tons of money to be made at the end for us. So what are we doing? We're investing in a lot of new music content across multiple languages. We are producing films, series, and short format content. Today, we are not doing podcasts, but we are very open to the idea of also podcasts because that's nothing else but just another form of IP. The 4 verticals that we have in the system, the first 2 that you see on the left-hand side are the bigger ones, which is music, growing at 23% right now over the last 6-7 years. The video business, which has been growing at 20% and we expect will grow at a faster pace as we go forward. The third is the retail business, which is Karma business. I'll talk about it later. That's a business we are scaling down. And an absolutely new vertical we have started, which is called live events, which is a symbiotic business along with music. So let's talk about music, which is our primary business. These are the 6 pillars on which we have built a music business. One, as I spoke to you, investing heavily in new content. Single point agenda being future-proof the company. We are making money because we have Rajesh Khanna, Amitabh Bachchan songs sung by Mohammad Rafi, Kishore Kumar, or Lata Mangeshkar or Asha Bhonsle. We want to ensure right now, Arijit Singh will have the same status, or a Ranveer Singh or a Ranbir Kapoor will have the same status 40 years down the line. We need to ensure we have their content too, so the company remains relevant. Second, there's a large focus at SAREGAMA on regional languages. We have realized that the nature of the contracts and our ability to monetize regional content shows that the margin profile is slightly better on the regional side, and hence we are there in a significant fashion. In fact, we are the only national music label which is available in so many regional languages. The fact that we have a pan-India catalog gives us a far better monetization ability. Let me explain this to you. Suppose you are picking up, you are a local Bhojpuri label, or a Gujarati label, or an Odia label, who is investing locally. When you go to Spotify or a Savan or any of the other big platforms or apps, and you do the negotiation, you get rate X. We are able to get a rate of 1.5 or 2X because we attach that Odia song of ours with Tauba Tauba or Vicky Kaushal, or Istri Ke Gaane, or a Kishore Kumar song, or a MS Subbalakshmi ka music. The fact we have the biggest songs of all languages allows us to monetize our regional language content also at a rate which is higher than what a local guy will be able to ever go and do, which gives us a solid muscle in the market. And we are the only guys who are playing the regional game, thankfully. The fourth part is also very critical. We don't believe in today's time and age that the old world, where one person sitting at the helm who could have been the promoter of the company or the managing director of the company, they used to sit and say, Gana sunao, batayenge chalega ya nahi chalega. I think those days are gone. At the age of 53, I don't think I have any business telling what songs are going to work for a 20-year-old in the market. We rely a lot on technology. We rely a lot on predictive models, which come back and tell us what may work, and more than work is how much money can we expect to make from this album or this particular song, which becomes a guiding force. And then we allow decentralized decision taking to be done by people who specialize in that language, all under the age of 30. These are things that are going a very long way to ensure that when we pick up content, we have a better ROI than anybody else in the market today. Our play in artist management and live events give us a big edge when it comes to working with artist-based music. There are two kinds of songs that work. Either it's filmy music, which is 65, 70, 72% of the market, and then there is non-filmy music, which is also called independent music. This is when a Diljit Dosanjh or a Badshah or somebody else, or a Raftar or a Paradox go back and release their song. The fact that we can offer those artists our artist management capability or also do live events for them makes us their preferred music label compared to anybody else in the market. And we are able to get songs at terms which are far more favorable than any of our competitors are able to do. And the last part, this question that often gets asked, that why will a big Bollywood studio, film studio, give their music to us? We have not been buying content between 2000 to 2017, 2018. They were all working with our competitors. Why will SAREGAMA out of the blue will come and people will work with us? For one simple reason. We have proved to the market that we are the best marketeers as far as music industry is concerned. Why is marketing necessary? In India, when a movie has to get released, the opening day, which is first Friday, Saturday, Sunday, collection, which is called opening of a movie, depends completely on how successful the songs of the movie were. Bad News is a movie that came out recently of Vicky Kaushal. Is a good enough example. Tauba Tauba song became such a big rage in the country even before the movie got released that the movie got an opening of 30 crore. Movie tanked after that. It made only 65 crore. But the fact it could manage 50% of that before even the negative word of mouth started spreading tells you the power of music. Istri 2, another very good example. The biggest blockbuster of the year. The opening completely came out of two songs becoming super duper hit even before the release of the film. So for a film producer, They want to work with music labels that can really make their songs big, which helps them open their movie very, very big. There's a direct connection between the two. So our marketing capability goes a long way in convincing these guys to give their music to us. So how's the growth happening? There's catalog music, which is older music of ours, which grows at 10 to 12% on a year-on-year basis. And this is, as I said right now, is a full margin business for us. Then there is a newer content, and we plan to invest 1,000 crore over the next 3 years on new music content. This content typically works on a 4 to 5 year payback period, a 26% IRR. You have 60 to 80 years of a life of a song to keep on making money from it, while we charge it off in our books over a period of 10 years. And then third is the artist management vertical, which is again part of the music only. It is just a byproduct of new music. There is no upfront investment that we are doing out here in the artist. If the songs become big, artist becomes big. If artist becomes big, you can make money off the artist earnings also. So what is the catalog like? Catalog is 160,000 songs spread in every major language of the country. Next slide is what you may find interesting. I've just given examples of 3 random songs. Song number 1 is an old movie called Golmaal. Golmaal of Amol Palekar, not Golmaal of Ajay Devgan. This is that old Golmaal. Uska ek gana tha, aane wala pal jaane wala hai. If you see their numbers, these are the revenue numbers which are written. People ask me questions right now, does catalog still make money? You see the revenue of that is still going up. What you see in blue is the original song. What you see in orange is agar uska remix version was created, the revenue that we got from the remix versions of it. So an Aane Wala Pal is growing only on the base song, while there's another extreme called Likhe Jo Khat Tujhe. Uske andar the real money is not coming from the original song, that's also growing. But uska remake that we people did has become a very, very big phenomenon. So we constantly keep on working in promoting our older songs by pushing them either in films or on Instagram. Ask big influencers that when they are putting up their videos, please attach a song, connect to it, so that it becomes top of mind recall. At the same time, we also invest on doing recreations of the song, remix versions of the song, which give us additional sources of revenue. But the good news out here is, we were always known as a catalog company. We have started investing in the newer content aggressively. If I look at primarily 23 ka content, last 3 years ka content has started contributing 33% of our revenues. If I look at 21st century ka content, it's now contributing more than 50% of our revenue. We are no longer dependent on catalog. Catalog is though growing at 10 to 12%. But our newer content investment is what is giving us very rich dividend. This is how we have invested in the past. And the next 3 years, we will be going out there and spending 1,000 crore on new content investment. Every major studio that you know in India, from Karan Johar's Dharma to Mad Dog, whose movie is Munjha and Stree 2, to Jio Studios, or Sanjay Leela Bhansali, or Vidhu Vinod Chopra, all these guys' movies are all sitting out there now with SAREGAMA. Once again, not that they love us, it's just that we market them better than anybody else in the market today. Our reporting, our tech allows real-time reporting happening to the film producer. They're that much more excited about it. We have been able to make a massive dent on our competition. A quick video on some of the newer content that has got released under SAREGAMA over the last 12 months.
Stop. What chumka?
तेरे वास्ते फलक से मैं चांद लाऊंगा 16 17 सितारे संग बांध लाऊंगा इश्क मिटाए हाय हाय नहीं मेरा इश्क मिटाए हाय हाय
आज की रात मजा हुस्न का आँखों से लीजिए चर्रगंडे స్థానంలో పుట్టైన வேண்டினே
So two of the biggest albums, the two biggest albums of the year, both belong to SAREGAMA. Out of the three biggest albums of the last year, two belong to SAREGAMA. So one, the big production houses are very happy to work with us. And second, we have a success rate at this juncture, which is better than anybody else in the market. Some of the movies that are going to be coming in the days to come whose music is owned by us. Whether Skyforce, Jigra is an Alia Bhatt movie produced by Dharma. Sarzamin is again a Dharma movie. Skyforce is a Geo Studio and Medoc film. These are all very big movies. The same story keeps on repeating right now itself in Tamil. Like Kanguva movie whose promo you saw is expected to be the bigger movie which is expected to beat Kalki also in terms of collections. It's looking massive. Music is looking very, very good. Let's see what happens. Next 2 months we'll know. Telugu, another very big language for us. The biggest movie out here is a movie called Game Changer, which is Ram Charan and Kiara Advani's film. Our director is Shankar. Big expectations coming out from this movie. Malayalam is a huge strength of ours. Kannada is an area right now we were not into, we have got ourselves into, and I'm reasonably confident by the end of the year, we will end up having the #1 position in Kannada the way we have it in Telugu and Malayalam. Now, this is an interesting slide just to give you an idea. How do we evaluate when somebody comes to us and says, I have got this album, how do we take a call, how much are we ready to pay, does it make sense or not? Every song which is there, which has been put out in India by every label, in every language is part of our database. Along with that song, hard metadata goes out. Singer, composer, lyricist, actor, actress, choreographer, mood of the song, BPM of the song, all that is part of the input. Then that song is tracked on platforms like YouTube and Instagrams on a daily basis on the performance of the song. We know performance of the song is directly connected to the rate at which YouTube pays us, or a OTT platform pays us, or an Instagram pays us. We use that metric to go back and say which artist combination can pay us what kind of money in a 5-year horizon. 5 years is a payback period and we work everything on a 5-year basis so that we know how much money can we go out there and spend on that particular movie. The example I'm going to be showing you, can you jump to the Excel now? It's there on this. Huh? Huh? Okay. Screen pay. Okay, right. So let's see here. What is written in best in classes? I'm giving you a simplified version of this, right? I can't allow this to go out in competitor's hand. Come what may, right? It's a very simplified version which is here. I've taken only 3 genres out here. Happy romantic is one of those genres, right? In happy romantic, what this data tells you that the highest success rate is of this combination. When Shreya Ghoshal sings on Alia Bhatt, the song composition is done by Preetham and the song is written by Amitabh Bhattacharya. In reality, what you see is 100%. When we people look at it, I'm hiding those numbers. Suppose the number is saying this combination in 5 years is giving us 15 crore. So in Happy Romantic, this is the best combination we have of an individual song. 15 crore, 5 crore, whatever is the highest in the category, that number is shown to the team. Now when you have come to me, you are coming with a cast which is different right now. If you come with, what you have come with is a combination of a song sung by Arijit, picturized on Ranveer. It's written by this very big Punjabi writer called Jani, and music is by Sachin Jigar. You automatically see if this was 10 crore, that number ki recovery is coming down to 7.7 crore. And now let's change a part. Can I have, instead of Arijit, can we have Badshah? And instead of Ranveer Singh, put Akshay Kumar. And do the calculate. So what this means now is, if this combination is coming in Happy Romantic side, my database is coming back and saying is that the numbers are going down, too many cameras are out, not fair, but the revenues out here that we can expect to go back and make from this is falling down to 4.5 crore. I'm not giving you the actual numbers here, but this is how we people go and evaluate stuff so that we understand in what range. And this happens, there are 5 songs in the movie for every song that's coming in across to us. And we start forming an opinion, how much can we expect to make from that album over a period of 5 years, which gives us a ballpark in which we can go and pay for the movie. This was this thing I keep on quoting about in all my one-on-one meetings. I thought, let me show it once to you guys. How does it work? Okay, now this is another chart we have not shown before, we have spoken about. Let me explain this. I think it will answer many of the questions. How does this entire new music concept work? So typically, when we invest, this is just an illustration which is working on, say, the total investment was going at $100. The biggest returns come in year 1. The biggest cost charge-off also we are taking in year 1. And the numbers are very clear right now, illustrated, so they have an understanding. So in the year 1, the additional margin that we end up making on a song here or an album is on the lower side because of the large charge-off that we are taking. Second year, the revenue comes down. Third year, the revenue comes down even further. But then it reaches the level where the natural increase on account of digitization that's going on, which is 10 to 12% per annum, starts taking over that natural fall the music was happening right now because of the recency factor. By the time you're reaching after year 10, so you have a payback period of 5 years, you have a charging off policy of 10 years, but you have a useful life which is sitting for 60 to 80 years. From year 11, the investment that you made today will start giving you 90% plus car margins. They anyway start looking pretty decent right now from year 4 and 5 itself. It's only difficult in year 1 and 2. And that also, when you are starting the journey of new content investment in a significant fashion, we will have the burden of the large charge-off that will come right now for the next 6 quarters, I'll say. But post that, the investment that we have made right now, their year 3 will start coming in where the margins are that much better. This is how typical charge impact of new content and P&L happens for us. Let's talk about how do we make money. Most of you guys will know, but still I'll spend a minute. Our biggest source of making money are OTT applications. Spotify, Gaana, Saavn, Apple, Amazon, all these guys take a license from us. The people who are consuming this content are either free customers or they are paid customers. If they are free customers of any of these apps and they stream a song of SAREGAMA, we get paid on an average 10 paisa odd. Every time if you're a free customer and you are listening to my song on that app pays me this. If you're a paid customer, then on an average, whatever you have paid, suppose you have paid 100 rupees per month, on an average, $50 they will keep, and $50 will be earmarked for the content pool, as content pool, divided equally amongst all the songs you heard during the month. Is the concept clear? So if you are paid $100, $50 is the content pool. If you heard 100 songs during month, every song is now worth 50 paisa. If you heard 200 songs during the month, every song is now worth 25 paisa. That's why we are very bullish that as paid economy takes off, there's a large amount of money to be made. Globally, around 700 million people today are paying for these services. We believe the same trend is going to happen in India. Second are the social media apps, 2 kinds. One of the kinds like YouTube. YouTube model is every time an ad is presented on a IP which is owned by SAREGAMA, 55% of whatever YouTube makes is shared with us, 45% is kept by them. It may be the original song or it may be a song that you have uploaded of Tauba Tauba, sung at your home and you dancing to it. It may be your video, but the advertising money will automatically flow to SAREGAMA. That's a large source of revenue for us. And then there are these short format apps like Instagram and YouTube Shorts, where also music gets used, but here we get paid a fixed fee with a clear understanding that as and when they open the taps to advertising, they will also start sharing with us 50 to 55% of that revenue, the way YouTube does today. Third are video. Now, video, how does it work? These lots of series that keep on going across to Netflix and Amazon, many of them end up using our music, or a Z5, or a Sony Live, or a Chopal, or Hoichoi. There are a lot of these video streaming apps, Ullu, who end up putting video. That video is our IP. We have invested now in technology that any time, any form, if my IP is getting used, even if you go out there and reduce the speed of the composition, we are still able to go back and catch. And then we ensure they have to take a license from us. Fourth is where TV channels end up using our music. Indian Idol, SAREGAMA Pop, any of that serial के अंदर किसी का phone बज रहा है, उस पे हमारे music चल रहा है, या somebody just like that says right now, अरे लग जा गले, आप इतना भी कर दोगे, you have to take a license from us. It's as simple as that. Brands end up taking a lot of our license to use our music in their jingles, or alcohol brands end up doing a lot of surrogate advertising which is targeted to the younger people using our music. Let me just show you some example. I need the audio once again.
जिनसे दिल कभी ना भरे।
इंतहा हो गई इंतजार की,
आईना कुछ खबर मेरे यार की।
चंदा है तू मेरा सूरज है तू, ओ मेरी आँखों का तारा है तू, जीती हूँ मैं बस तुझे देख के, इस टूटे दिल का सहारा है तू, चंदा।
सॉरी बेटा, पर प्यार तो इसी को कहते हैं।
So these are examples. The first two, we milled the songs and we got brands to give us money to put the surrogate advertising in the music videos. In the last three, brands took a license from us to use our songs in their own ads. And each of these runs into a decent amount of sum. And there's a big business model for us. The moment it comes to artist management, I've spoken to you, we are working with all kinds of artists, primarily music-based, but we're also looking at other lifestyle-based artists. The model being, if you are an artist, come to us, we'll help make you big. How do we help you make you big? SAREGAMA, wearing both music hat as well as video hat, ends up producing a lot of content. When you're producing content, you need faces there. Rather than giving breaks to random people, we end up giving breaks only to people who sign up with us. We'll make you big, become big, using content that anyway we would have invested in. But if you become big, then whatever money you make from appearing in brands, singing in shadis, acting in films, anything apart from your mom and dad leaving money to you in will, everything else that you make money on, for next 2 to 7 years, we will get share of which can vary between 20 to 50% of whatever money you end up making. Because we are helping boost your career at an early stage. For us, it's a great byproduct of content creation that we people are doing within the company today. Let's jump into video. What is the video strategy? We are there and there's 1 minute content that runs on Instagram. We are very, very big there. We are into 22 minutes TV serials also. We are in 45 minutes digital series and we are into 120 minutes movies. The entire gamut of video activity that keeps on happening out here, we are there. We are primarily into entertainment, but we are very open to infotainment-based content too. Our strategy is based on these 5 big principles. When we do films, and our film part is primarily regional films, we are not into Hindi. We don't think within SAREGAMA we have the capability to make big budget Bollywood films the way a Dharma or a Sanjay Leela Bhansali or a Yash Raj is able to make. We focus only on regional content. And our policy is, whenever a film is being made, 70% of the cost of the film should get recovered through TV and digital licensing even before the movie gets released in theatre. So the risk that we take on theatre is only to the extent of 30%. It can go wrong. It has gone wrong with us that 30% maybe we recovered in one of the movies, only 7 or 8%. There were losses, but it can go right, then it can recover decent amount of money. So Istri too, the producers are going to be recovering some bizarre amount of money. So that's the nature of the beast here. The good part here is we charge off the cost of the film in year one itself. After that, there's nothing sitting on balance sheet. If the movie does well, the rights come up for renewals every 5 years or 10 years. There's further money that you can keep on making right now on the catalog. On series business, both in Pocket Aces and SAREGAMA, we follow the principle that we will go ahead with the series only if we have a guaranteed licensing deal from a platform like a Netflix or a Hotstar or an Amazon or a Sony Live or a Z5. We don't take punt of making a program and then going in pitching to them. We pitch it to them at the script level so that the risk factors are close to zero out here. The third is we are building youth-based destinations, and Filter Copy is the best example. Those of you who don't know Filter Copy, please go out there and check with family or friends, kids in the age group of under 22. This is a 14 to 22, 14 to 24 age group targeted destination, and it's the single largest app today on Instagram which talks to youth as far as entertainment is concerned. They are huge. On the short format content, when we put up content on a Filter Copy or other apps, what is the business model? Brands give us money to get integrated into those 1-minute videos. And a large generation of monies comes from that. As a policy, whatever content we are creating, we control the IP. We never give away the IP. And that's another big difference compared to some of the, or almost all the other players in the market. They very often give the IP away. We don't give our IP away. We retain our IP. Advantage of IP is you can do recreations in other languages. You get season 2, season 3, season 4. All those rights are sitting there with us. If I talk on films and series, I've spoken part of what we are doing, make films for theatrical, focus being regional. What we are issuing, when we are issuing licenses to TV channels and digital platforms, they're all time-based licenses. TV can be longer, it can be 10 to 15 years. Digital can be anything between 3 to 11 years. It all depends on what kind of valuations are we getting out of it. And this part of the business has a great symbiotic relationship with the music business of ours. See, if you look at the music business, what do we do? 70% of the content consumed in India is music that comes from films. So that's my input source for all the music that I'm getting today. All my competitors have a very active film production business. We were the only guys who did not have a film production business. So we are saying we need to have a position there also because it allows me to get a guaranteed source of music coming into us. Various movies that are getting out during the financial year, you will find either it's a series, this Half Love, Half Arranged, Crush season 4. All the 4 seasons have got released in less than 24-month period. That's a beauty of series concept. If it works, you keep on getting reorders for fresh seasons. While the other 3 films you're talking about, they're either Malayalam or Punjabi. I spoke to you about these 4 or 5 apps that we, or destinations that we have. Filter Copy, entertainment, Gobble is targeted at food. Nutshell is a very distinct app which is focusing on content which is on feeling good. So all health-related stuff is coming in here, and big brands like Cipla are now paying us money to get integrated into the content which is going up on Nutshell. Quick word on the other 2 segments we have. Carvaan. Karma was an absolutely fabulous story which revived our company. The not so good part is during COVID, when most of the people right now my age or older were stuck at home, they got exposed to the world of digital, courtesy their kids and grandkids. They had no option but to start consuming that part. And they have now become pretty comfortable on consuming content on digital platforms. Carvaan was built for people who were scared of digitization, who wanted a physical touch. So we are realizing that the life cycle of Carvaan may be limited. So at this juncture, the focus has moved from becoming a revenue spinner to improving margins. And to do that, we are transitioning Carvaan completely out of these brick and mortar stores and making it an e-commerce product only. Taken a price hike, built it only in e-commerce, disbanded the teams there, let the product move on its own, till the time the product has life in it. The last part is live events. Again, a concept that goes with our music business very, very well, because primarily we do only music-based stuff here. We have done most of the concerts of Diljit Dosanjh that have happened in US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and India. We have just announced another tour in India and then Abu Dhabi tour. The advantage of doing concerts with these big artists is that our relationship becomes that much deeper. Diljit Dosanjh is the only non-film music big artist in this country. It's a controversial statement and I'm aware of this, but that's a reality. Everybody else is dependent on film music. He is the only guy who is not dependent whether कोई गाना picture में आता है या नहीं आता है. His own music is that massive. But he knows his power. He also has a condition that he will never sell his music. He retains the IP of all his songs because he's that big. The only person he's given the IP to is SAREGAMA. We got the IP of the last song called Lavya. We got the IP of the movie in which he appeared right now. And he's now doing another song for us for a movie called Jigra. What it does is when you work with the artist that deeper, and live is where they make their real money. When they see that the label is going out of the way to help them, it becomes easier to manage things on the music side too. But we are not depending only on activities like this. We are also trying to create our own IP. A good example, which if you get a chance, please sample it. We are doing this show with Zeenat Aman, where we are going across the country and Zeenat Aman will be taking the audience. If it's Zeenat Aman, everybody above the age of 40, right? Only they will have that, still their awe of, as she calls Zeeni baby. She will tell us the stories of that era, stories behind our films, stories behind the biggest songs, and it so happens that the only song she'll talk about will be SAREGAMA songs. And we will have an artist standing out there who will be performing on those songs. And this is a ticketed event, and the way it's going right now with the sponsorship coming in, we're already in profits. And it makes my songs popular with that many more number of people. So we are creating many such properties. At the end of the day, you are sitting on this invaluable asset called IP. Whatever way we can find to monetize that IP, we'll continue doing it. This is what the business was. A quick last slide right now on our guidance that we are giving, which way the things are going to move. Music licensing business, which is music business, which is licensing plus artist management, which was 544 crore last year. We expect this to grow at a CAGR of 23% as we people go forward. We have been growing at 23%. We are comfortable that it will continue growing at 23%. This is independent of subscription taking off. If subscription takes off, this number can grow at a very, very different pace. This is the worst case scenario, subscription does not take off. As we grow in scale, the margins are going to go back and improve. Why? As you become a bigger lead, your leadership position improves. Remember, we are not number one in revenue. We are number two in revenue. As our position improves in the market, our negotiation powers will improve that much more with our partners when we are licensing our content. And scale also brings about huge cost benefits because the marketing cost starts going down if you release that many more number of songs. We believe as we go forward, margins will improve in the music business. Video business, which was a relatively smaller business, we expect to grow at 25 to 30% CAGR as we people over the next 3 years. Here also, as scale goes up, margins improve. More importantly, as your library goes up, becomes bigger. The second round of monetization of the library starts coming in. And there is no associated cost in balance sheet because you already charged the entire movie out. That starts flowing to the bottom line straight away. Net, what's going to be happening is, company is going to be growing over the next 3 years at 25 to 26% CAGR at the overall level. This is excluding Carvaan revenue. Keep Carvaan please out of it completely. The EBITDA of ours, the adjusted EBITDA is going to grow at a rate faster than revenue because of scale benefits coming in. PBT is going to have a little different trajectory because of the large content investments, the fact we are scaling it up dramatically. As I showed you in the graph earlier, PBT will not grow at the same pace. Let me put it this way. For the first 6 quarters, and after that, it accelerates at a rate which is even faster than that of PBT. I've given the indicated graphs at the bottom. This is typically how the trajectory is going to be moving over the next 3 years. As and when subscription takes off, and our understanding is 18 to 24 months, all these 3 things right now end up getting a massive boost. But these numbers we are confident of achieving irrespective of subscription taking off. Thank you. Happy to take questions.
Yeah, hi, thanks. My name is Ajas. 4 questions. It was
Yeah,
a wonderful presentation. Thank you. First one is, could you split the music revenues? Could you give the color of how much is coming from YouTube? How much is coming from...
No, I can't get into that kind of breakup. What I can tell you is 70% of our revenues comes from digital. In digital, I include 3 things here. Streaming applications, short format apps of both kinds, the YouTube, and the short format apps like Instagram and YouTube Shorts. Remaining 30% is coming from licenses that we issue to TV channels, brands, public performance, radio, and all the other ancillary areas.
Got it. 1,000 crore split that you're going to spend, what is the breakup between, regional and Bollywood? Oh.
Regional and Hindi, I believe you're asking,
Hindi,
right?
yes.
Say 50-50. We have a large regional focus because we believe the margins are far better on the regional side.
Okay, and this is to acquire content only, right?
Only music content.
So 1,000 crores is the layout for music content.
1,000 crores is the layout for music content over the next 3 years, including FY25.
Got it. The next one is when this, Dharma, the equivalent film studios sort of produce a movie, you, the other listed peer and the unlisted peer, all of you get the same bargaining power, or it's a function of, who's paying the highest bid. Is that understanding correct? What is it? How does that decision making take place?
Tell me right now, why does Unilever able to market products better than some of these smaller FMCG brands? By that, right? Money is there with everybody. Talent like you and I are easily available for a price. The fact of life is some companies go back and invest that much heavily on the building, the marketing vertical and marketing know-how. Other companies don't. We have taken a conscious call that both on the data analytics side and the marketing side, we have invested heavy on the talent and the tools that are needed out here, because of which we are able to market music better than anybody else. That's the simple reason why Sanjay Leela Bhansali, Vidhu Vinod Chopra, Dharma, and which is the fourth one I missed right now, Maddock, all 4 of them, the biggest 4 production houses of Hindi, Maitri, the biggest production house out there of Tamil, all of them moved right now to SAREGAMA. And I'm not paying more. If I was paying more, I wouldn't have been able to manage to have my payback period, which is less than 5 years.
Cool. Is it possible that if somebody outbids you, they'll go with the other one?
It happens. So what we are very clear about is, if my model is saying I should be paying X, the qualitative call, which at times can be left at the discretion of senior people like me, can be 1.1 times X. Okay. Beyond that, we just say no. We have said no to a big Khan movie. It's not that we were not interested. We thought, but our models were making it very clear that kind of artists who were getting attached with it, there is no way we would have recovered the money that we're being asked for. We walked out of the deal.
Okay.
But so, all things being equal, and this you can check in the market today, all things being equal, SAREGAMA will get the music.
Okay. And this platform, this ERP that you have, which is internal to you, which does the matrices of data analytics, etc., that you run across all filters, all songs, so that it gives you the intelligence to bid in future pipeline.
Yes. What we do is right now, every language, every song across every competitor of mine, but they has to be in India based. So we don't do it for any language which is a non-Indian language.
Okay.
And we track it on multiple platforms. So we are not limiting it to audio streaming or a video streaming or a short format. We're attacking all three.
Okay, but your ability to predict how much revenue comes out of that is based on, again...
The past performance of those. So if Arijit has done 28 songs right now over the last 3 years, Pritam has done 26 songs ka composition, Ranveer has released 18 songs. Performance of each of these songs, the weightage goes back right now to the corresponding people who are attached. What I have not shown out here because the photographs that we've been being is the moods also coming in and BPM also coming in. All those factors also go in, which start telling us that in the past what has worked are these hard factors. But remember, whatever I've shown you out here is, this is not perfect science. There are artists who have given huge flops and suddenly given a hit. I think a Vikram movie of Kamala Hassan was a very good example. He has not given too many hits in the recent past and suddenly gave a massive hit, and after that gave a big flop like Indian 2. So exceptions happen. But by and large, we have realized this in our business. An artist whose days are going right, he or she keeps on delivering hits.
Fair enough. And your thoughts that, maybe say 3 years back, the cost of content is significantly rising.
Actually, it's not.
Okay.
In fact, we have seen right now the cost of Hindi content has gone down. The only cost that went up was Telugu content, which I believe in calendar year 25 is also going to come down. Hindi has come down.
Oh, Hindi
What
cost...
we paid for Hindi 2 years ago, we are paying less than that today. See, remember, it's not at the end of the day, the money that I make, it's not that it's completely hidden from the film producer. Film producer also knows right now, in the end, what monies are we people making. Everybody can do back calculations.
Correct.
At least they may be off by 10, 20, 30%, but they won't be off by 50%.
Right.
So, and we all understand, a film producer has a clear expectation, what cost of the total film will he recover from the music label. So these things keep on calibrating. If you keep on coming out with disasters after disasters, and the music has not worked, the prices start correcting themselves automatically. It's not a very competitive market. If you look at Hindi, the only people who are actively participating is SAREGAMA T-Series. Z was, I don't know what, of late they have not been, let's see what they do, and to a very less extent Sony Music. There's no fifth player.
Tips does not?
One movie, Crew, over the last 18 months.
Right.
That's not...
Universal is
Universal is only non-film. Warner is only non-film.
Oh yeah.
They're not into film side. If you go into Telugu, it's only us and Aditya. If you go to Tamil, it's Sony number 1. Tamil has got 3 players. We are number 3 there. Sony number 1, a local guy, and SAREGAMA. Malayalam, we are the only national player. Kannada, we are the only national player.
Okay.
It's not a very competitive industry.
Got it. So content cost is by the filmmaker side is just a function of demand supply for that time period.
Demand supply and how music in general is doing. So Telugu, what happened? We released a movie called Sarkaru Vari Pata, which was a Mahesh Babu film, and Pushpa got released. Both of them made serious amount of money. I am telling you, payback period of 4 to 5 years. In reality, for us, it was in months, not even years. A producer understands that Telugu content is doing well. The prices started going up. At the end of the day, if we are making the returns, producer will also want this pound of flesh also coming in. Last 12 months, Telugu content, nothing has worked. The prices again started softening.
Got it. Okay. So got it. And I know this is probably a tail risk, but I know you and YouTube have a symbiotic relationship which is interdependent on each of you doing your share. But is there any risk that 55% tapers off?
YouTube?
Yeah, the 55% advertising
55%,
revenue.
listen, now you're asking me a very theoretical question. I'll give you a theoretical answer.
Sure.
That why will they go out there and kill the hen that lays the golden goose? They have golden eggs right now because at the end of the day, zero investment from their side. Invest karte hain hum. Hamare content mein they are making 45%. I see no reason that happening. And also, I think as a country, we are now strong enough that if an MNC comes out there and start coming with predatory pricing, what happened to Amazon 48 hours back can happen to anybody. So I don't see anybody doing something silly there. I think people will be fair to each other.
Got it. Fair, thanks. And just at what size and scale do you expect the video part of the business to sort of show up in operating profits in a significant way?
So we are looking right now in next 12 to 18 months. It's right now more than the size. It's our own experience of running that. Video business is not a very old business for us.
Right.
We are also learning how we people are going forward. We have a very strong capital allocation policy that controls the amount of exposure we are taking on video side. One check. Second check, we charge off the entire cost of video in year one itself.
Right.
So that nothing is hidden at the balance sheet level. We are putting all those checks and then going ahead. I believe in a 12 to 18 months horizon right here, you should be looking at 8 to 10% margin.
Got it. Thanks. All the best.
If, we just have 5 more minutes, so quickly ask your questions, please. We have to move on to the next session.
Hello.
Hi, sir.
Sir, just
I
on
have
the
a
movie
question.
business part. Sir, here. Hello?
Who's going?
Here. Vikramji.
There,
Here,
okay.
here. So on the movie business, what we had given an understanding earlier is that it is on a cost plus model. So say there is a budget of 5 and we sell it at 5.5 to 6 to a
Sir, I have never said that for Udly business. And I'm
Movie
running it
business.
right now for the last 10 years, so I know what I said.
Okay.
This is series business.
Okay.
Udly films business, earlier what we used to do, the change that has happened is we used to make very small budget films. We used to make it and then go out there and sell it to, or license it to Netflix and Amazon. What we saw after 2019, 2020, that Netflix stopped taking these small concept films. They also need big stars attached to it. So instead of doing direct to digital films, now we are doing theatrical films, but limiting ourselves to Punjabi and Malayalam.
So the budget.
We don't work on this cost plus part.
Okay, so the budget for movies, which was earlier say maybe 5 to 6 crores, would now be about 10 to 15 crores?
Somewhere that. What I can tell you for sure right now, what you can check out very easily from my statements, that how much cash is stuck right now on the balance sheet level. Because I need a pipe sitting in. Typically, we don't go, Malayalam and Punjabi are not that expensive games. And that's why we have chosen those languages. Also, what I love about those languages is the actors there. They don't take money front-ended. They ride on the risk along with you and they take back-ended. So if a movie does well, I think it's everybody's right to make money from it. If the movie tanks, which in this industry will happen here and there, then at least they are also equally into it.
So on average, say if we make around 20 movies a year and around 200 crores, so would we make around 20% margin in the movie
So
business?
I said right now, 8 to 10%
8 to
margin
10%.
on a stable fashion, another 12 to 18 months is what we people are looking at. Remember, in movie business, the IRR is far higher than margin. Because when you are making a movie, 70% of the money gets recovered by selling the digital and TV rights before the release of the film. And when you are doing that, you pick up advances. So you are using platforms money as working capital to help you produce the movie. So the IRRs are far better.
Okay, thank you.
Sir,
For shorts, monetization for shorts.
YouTube Shorts?
YouTube and Instagram, given that's the largest chunk now, and we are probably getting very small fees and fixed fees.
Yes.
How is that going to happen in few years? Can we get something because there's no advertising there, or yeah?
So I'll give you my personal view here is, when we talk to these guys, they realize that this is the only country in the world where they are, TikTok is not there and these guys are calling the shots. They are petrified that TikTok will come back. So before TikTok comes back, they want to cement that position very strongly in the market. They understand and monetize maybe at a later juncture. So they're not opening the taps of advertising yet, but our contractual arrangements with them work very clearly. The day they open it up properly, we end up getting similar structures of share of advertising as YouTube offers today. So 2-3 years, hopefully, you will have these guys also making money.
So, but their fixed fees that they are giving you is so small, they should be giving you much higher. So can you negotiate on that?
So we do right now. So you think it's the same part right now. Whatever we get, we think is low. They think they are not making money, so they are paying high. That negotiation is always on. Whenever we people, and it will happen this year also for us, there is a boost that comes out there and that deal also. But my problem is, and where I'm with you, the base at this juncture is this small, that
Yes.
even if I have a decent percentage jump coming in, it's still very, very small.
Yeah, exactly. So
But
not
that's the reality. What do I do? Either I withdraw my content from it.
yes.
There's no other, because they're not paying anybody.
Right.
It's not just SAREGAMA. We have MFN, the advantage of large sizes is that you can get MFN clauses in most of your agreements.
Right.
So we know we are not being unjustly underpaid.
Yes.
They need to open it to advertising and they will eventually open it to advertising. Otherwise, why are they running their business?
But even if they don't open it to advertising, they can easily afford to give us 5, 10x, even much higher.
Please come and negotiate along with us. I'm with you completely.
Okay, one last question. This is it.
Sir,
Please.
sir, in one of the slides, you had shown that 25% of revenue comes from the content that was taken in 1960s to 80s. So I assume that would come near expiry now. So what is the process of renewal?
Understand right now, there's no, in music, there are two rights. There is a sound recording right and there's a publishing right. Publishing right is the right of the lyrics and the music composition. Sound recording is a full song. So, Toba Toba, the full song is one right. But anybody who has to play my song needs to clear both the rights. The main song rights expire 60 years from the release of the song. But the second right is expires 60 years from the death of the artist. So if, I don't want to take names, some of the biggest poets who have written songs of that time, the biggest man, is still very much alive and kicking. Right? So there's another 60 years sitting right now for majority of the music that came during that era. So we are protected this way or that way. We will not clear the second right. You can't play my music then. So that's why I'm still showing you, we are still making money which is from 1950s music. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vikram Mehra. Thank you, Mr. Pankaj Chaturvedi. That was indeed a super interactive session. Thank you so much, everyone.